Hi, in this video drum lesson I thought we'd learn the drum parts to part 1 of the 9-minute epic Jesus of Suburbia by Green Day, including the drum solo, drummed by the gurning maniac Tre Cool, of course. And the song starts with these stabs, which occur throughout the first part of the song. And the stabs fall on beat 1, the end of beat 2, beat 4, and then beat 1 of the second bar. And it's just bass drum and crash cymbal. Now, Tre uses all of his crash cymbals throughout. It's quite random which one to hit. Sometimes it's a double hit, sometimes it's a right crash, sometimes a left crash. You can use whatever, and whenever I play this, it tends to change every time anyway. But the stabs themselves fall on 1, the end of 2, 4, and beat 1 of the next bar, like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And you can use any cymbals. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now on beat 1 of the second bar of the stab, Tre chokes the cymbals. So all that means is that he grabs the cymbal with one of his hands after just hitting it on beat 1. So I tend to hit the crash cymbal with the right hand, and then my stick moves to the back of the hand like this, 4 fingers at the bottom, thumb on top, and I just go in to grab the cymbal like that. So you just get to choke the cymbal. This is called choking the cymbal. On this electric drum kit, I've got a little sensitive rim underneath which picks that up movement. With the bass drum, like that. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And it happens twice. And it goes throughout the song. So whenever we get those stabs, it's the same pattern every time, with the cymbals being choked on beat 1. And then we got our first rather cool little drum fill which occurs. And again, this drum fill gets repeated a few times. And there's a second variation which I'll go over in a second, which is slightly different. But the first one occurs at the end of line 1 of the chart, which you can, by the way, download from my website. And it starts on the and of beat 3, and it's a triplet, 16th note triplets. So all we're doing, the triplets start on the and of 3 and end on beat 4, and in that space we're playing 3 triplet notes. And they're played right, left, right, floor tom, high tom, floor tom. That's the triplet, starting on the and of 3. And then the left hand moves down to the snare drum to play beat 4 straight after the last triplet note. So in essence, we're playing 4 notes in a row really smoothly, starting on the and of 3 on the floor tom and ending on beat 4 with the snare drum, like this. So to count it would be and 4, and 4, or some people count it and to 4 when you count in 16th note triplets, and to 4, and to 4. Followed by another left hand snare drum on the and of 4 after the first snare drum note. So there's a little gap between the first snare drum note and the second snare drum note. And 4, and 4, and. If we want to keep a pulse and play that in time, we'd play 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. That's not right, is it? That was quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, diddle it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, diddle that, da, da. That's the pulse there. 1, 2, 3. It's very hard playing it slowly like that. Trying to count it slowly. Much easier if you play along to the song once you've got the basic rhythm down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. As you can see, it's played quite smoothly. And to 4. Right, left, right, left. So you can practice that just on one drum to start off with. Sticking is essentially right, left, left. Like that. And to 4 and. So with the stabs before, we get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. With of course a choke at the end of the last cymbal there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, and we're into the next line. And this groove that occurs on line 2, and I've marked it on the chart as half open hi-hats. So Tre's hi-hats are sloshy, they're slightly half open. We're playing 8th notes on the hi-hat. Look out for the occasional crash cymbal, which he moves up to playing up here or up here, depending on which crash cymbal you want to play on. But in essence, we're playing 8 notes with the right hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the snare drum is going to be on 2, the and of 2, and beat 4. So we've got this double snare drum hit on 2 and and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Very sort of Beatles, swingy kind of 60s kind of feel. That kind of stuff. And the bass drum is on beat 1, the and of beat 1, and then the and of beat 3. So we've got this little push on the and of beat 3 into the second snare drum on beat 4. So slowly, it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a bit faster without me counting. And up to speed. So again, look out for the crash cymbals. They're notated on the chart for you, so you can see where we're at in the song. And look out for those occasional crash cymbals being added with the right hand moving to the crash cymbal. Okay, and then at the end of the second line, we get this variation on the first drum fill I talked about. It starts the same way. It starts on the and of 3, and the 3 triplet notes are played on the same drums: floor tom, high tom, floor tom, and ta-ta, and ta-ta. And instead of the left hand moving down to the snare drum, it moves to the floor tom instead in exactly the same position. So we're still playing 4 notes in a row, da-da-da-da, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's right, left, left. So instead of going right, left in the first one, it's right, left this time on the floor tom. That kind of thing. And the other variation, instead of playing another left-hand note on the and of 4, it's played with the bass drum instead. So we get and 4 and 4 and to 4 and. Like that. So in context with the beat before it, because remember this starts on the and of 3, we've got a little bit of drum beat before it, we play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and perhaps a bit faster now without me counting. And it also helps to realise what comes next, because we then got more stabs. Da, 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 da. So the bass drum that falls on the and of 4 is going to be the first. There's going to be another bass drum straight after it on beat 1 of the next bar with the first of the crash stabs. So we actually get and 4 and 1, because that's beat 1 there. And 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Choke the cymbal. And 4 and 1 and 4 and 1. Boom boom, boom boom, bass bass, like that. So let me now play a bit of context for this in context. I might as well just play the second line in total going into the first beat of the third line. So perhaps slowly first. Okay, let's move on to the next line where we've got more stabs. And we've got the same drum fill as we had on the first line. So that variation where we do get 2 left-hand notes, 4 and both on the snare drum. Now let me just play that line for you. It's exactly the same as the first line, but I didn't play the first line in context for you. Let me play up to speed, because it's not that complicated. It's just some stabs and then the diddle-da-da at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Woo! 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. And we're into the da-da-da-da Beatles-esque 60s kind of groove. And it's exactly the same as the second line, except at the end of the line we got this drum fill, which starts on beat 3, and it's very simple. It's 3 and a 4 and on the snare drum, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, with a bass drum on beat 3 and beat 4. So the bass drum falls with the right hand on beat 3 and on beat 4. 3 and a 4 and a. You can take the bass drums out if you find that difficult. Just play 3-ender, 4-ender, like that. And the bit before it, there's a few crash cymbals to look out for, but it's all written on the chart for you. Sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3-ender, 4-ender, 1 and 2 and 3-ender, 4-ender. Bit faster. Crash on 1, crash on 2 with the snare drum. So let's move on to the next section now, where we got this quarter note pattern being played on the crash cymbal. So the right hand's going from playing 8 notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now just a quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not going to play the crash cymbal up here because my left hand's going to play the other crash cymbals. So the basic groove without the ghost notes, we got bass drum on 1, snare drum on 2, bass drum on 3, and then a bass drum on the and a 3, which falls in between the right hands, because we're just playing 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So any ands, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and they're going to fall in between the right hands. Snare drum on beat 4, and then another bass drum on the and a 4, falling again in between the right hands, but the left hand's then going to come up and hit the crash cymbal at the same time as that bass drum note. So in essence, we're actually going to play 4 and 1. We're playing 4, 1 here, all the quarter notes, and then for the one part of the bar there, we're coming up to the crash cymbal, hitting it on the and a 4 in between the right hands with the bass drum at the same time. Probably makes more sense if I show it to you. So let me play it really slowly, without the ghost note on the of 2 to start off with. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. Now, it so happens there isn't a bass drum on beat 1 of the next bar, but I'm just going to loop the first bar for you a couple of times. So this isn't how we'll play it in a second, but just for looping it, it makes it easier. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 there. Bit faster. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. Now we're going to add the ghost note in, and it's played quite quietly. Tre varies the volume of it. Sometimes it's easy to hear, sometimes it's not easy to hear. So you can add in your own dynamics, but try to play it a little bit quieter than beat 2 and 4. That's kind of the rule I've applied here. And it falls on the of beat 2. So just before beat 3, with the crash cymbal, we're going to put a little snare drum in. Easy if I show you, it's played like this. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1. Like that. Bit faster now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. By the way, another little tip, if you want to leave out that crash cymbal on the and a 4, it's too hard for you, of course you can leave it out. You can also play it with the right hand. You can go 4 and 1, 4 and 1. It doesn't matter if you play it with your left hand or not. It's just at a certain level, that's actually easier than moving your right hand to a different cymbal, I find. And it's also good little drumming skill to have in your arsenal bag. It's be able to move your left hand up and hit a crash cymbal with a bass drum whenever you like. It's just a useful skill to have as a drummer. So the second bar is exactly the same as the first bar, except there's no bass drum on beat 1, so we just play crash on 1, then the bass drum comes in on the and of 1 instead of beat 1, so we get 1 and 2, and then there's no crash cymbal on the and of 4, but there is a bass drum on the and of 4 still. So we get 4 and 1 instead of in the first bar 4 and 1, we just get 4 and 1. So the second bar is this: 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 a 3 and 4 and. Put the two bars together: 1 and 2 a 3 and 4 and 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 1. And I like to hit both crash cymbals on beat 1 every 2 bars. It just emphasises the 2 bars going by. It's kind of what Tre does as well. 1, 2, a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 a 3 and 4 and 1, 2 a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 a 3 and 4 and 1. A bit faster, well, up to speed now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and then on to the last line of the chart, we have one other drum beat to learn, another 2-bar pattern, and I think I'll just play it to you really slowly rather than explain what all the bass drums are. Both bars together. Leave out the crash cymbal stabs for now. The first bar is this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So exactly the same bass drum pattern as the quarter note pattern before. Bass drums in the same place. The second bar has exactly the same bass drum pattern as the second bar we just did as well. So actually the bass drum pattern is the same as the quarter note drum beat we just did. It's this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Exactly the same. Snare drum on 2 and 4. No ghost note this time, but we have got some crash cymbals to look out for. So before we go on to the crashes, let me just play that again for you. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And the hi-hats are half open again. And the crash cymbals follow the guitar or the vocals. I can't quite remember what bit it's following here. The right hand moves up to a crash cymbal on beat 1, beat 3, and then the and of beat 4 in the first bar only. So we've got this offbeat crash cymbal on the and of 4 again. And it sounds like this. Watch my right hand just move to the crash cymbal, then back to the hi-hat when it's not played. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. A bit faster. And up to speed. Did you spot the deliberate mistake? No? Yes? Ah. Okay. And then at the end of that line, we've got that drum fill, as we explained on the second line. It's the one where the left hand moves down to the floor tom, not to the snare drum, and there's a bass drum on the and of 4. And of 4 and. And then we're into the second page of the chart, which is basically basically the same as the first page. It just gets repeated. Drum fills in the same place. There are a few other variations, but you can, as I say, look at the chart to see exactly where they fall.